Sometimes the bomb might explode without any warning. Sometimes the bomb might explode without any warning. Sometimes the bomb might explode without any warning. Sometimes the bomb might explode without any warning.
Who's ready to cook?
Sometimes the bomb might explode without any warning.
Let's get it, dudes.
Hey, pretty baby, what's your name? What's your number? I'm about to talk to you. Get your phone ready. So you say you're looking for a real man who can take you out to see other lands, other lands. Somebody who can feed you lobster and shrimp every day of the week, 'cause the bread is thick and money is no ish when you're filthy rich.
Hey, what's happening, Cashin? Familia, we're back. And let me edit the name of the episode right quick. Your boy a bit disorganized this evening, I must say. Hand up on that one. Mulvey's here, Ethan's here, and I don't see anyone else. If you're here, sound off in the comments. It's time to cash. And yes, it is cash o'clock. Thank you, sir. I am now officially a Lions fan for until they lose. So your boy, once the Saints were dead, your boy just decided I was going to hop around for the rest of the year. I'm not going to lie to you. Bit of a big ticket move, if you ask me, if you're familiar with the show. What's up? People streaming in, flooding the gates of this YouTube channel right now. Another Wednesday night, another opportunity to cash. You're going to want to get on the Lions train right here and right now if you're not already. Get out of here, Roku remote. A lot of problems on set this afternoon, I must say. Trying to get everything done. You know, your boy's running a million miles per min, they say. Dinner with Marquette. Oh, I shouldn't have read that out loud. All right. Onward. So we're going to do this live with Mulvihill and Ethan here. Let's get it. All right. Proud to be hanging out with Mulvihill and Ethan right now. That is huge, honestly. That is big time. Fellas, I'm going to rely on you a lot tonight because, seems like that's all we got going right now. But I value you guys here. Just stay till the end, please. We need some chatter. We need some chatter from you boys big time. If that's okay. We're gaining. All right. So, my computer doesn't work. It's big time news. Sam may be getting in here. So we're on the Capitals over tonight, Ethan. I like that. John Merritt, who is not in yet, says hammer the Grizz -2. I'm trying to remember who the Grizz have tonight. I can't remember. I had Ja in one of my I don't know. But NBA has started. All right. NBA has started. I think I've got the Celtics repeating. I think the Celtics will repeat this year. Missoula is a hell of a coach. Tatum is an absolute cheeseball. But I do like the Celtics to repeat. I don't think LeBron wins another one with the Lakers. Maybe I'm wrong. but I think Bron might just be cooked in LA. I would like to see him go somewhere else to finish his career. Maybe Bronny's going to go wherever he goes, right? So, but I do like the Celtics. So, I think they're going to repeat this year. I think the Lions are going to win the Super Bowl, judging by my shirt. So, here we are, boys. Here we are. Ethan and Mulvey, just two ride or dies in here right now. I'm just going to go ahead and get to the rankings. Might as well, right? Talking about football last week, Bama loses their second game of the year. First time with 2 losses before week 7 since 2007, I believe the stat is, which is pretty crazy. I got Golden State and Phoenix parlayed at plus 100. I don't mind that play. What's Phoenix's guy's name? Scooter? Scooby? Possibly Scooby? Yeah, I think Portland. I like the big man they got from Phoenix a couple years back. Ethan, you're a big NBA guy. Maybe get some NBA picks from you as the year goes on. Let's see. Do you concur with the Celtics pick, E, or do you think someone else is going to do it this year? I mean, the Bucks kind of dumpster fiery at the end of the year last year. The Sixers seem like they're never going to do it. Hey, the Grizz, I could definitely see the Grizz making a run if Ja doesn't do anything stupid and if they stay decently healthy with Jaren Jackson, Desmond Bane. Those fellas are pretty solid big three that people don't really realize in Memphis. If you're running through the other teams that might have a shot. I mean, I think Golden State, no Clay. Obviously Clay's pretty washed at this point. Playing for the Mavs this year, though, that'll be interesting with Luka and Kyrie. But yeah, I don't know. I don't have a good feel on the NBA this year. I've been kind of checked out with football. Think that's a great pick, my man. Yeah, Ja does stay strapped for sure. Yeah, Bama loses to Tennessee. Georgia whoops Texas in Austin, which I did not see coming. Resident Oklahoma fan Elijah did. That was his one right prediction of the year, and that was the Longhorns getting beat up by Georgia. The SEC, man, a lot of parity in the SEC this year. Kind of crazy. Underdog of the week, your boys did cover against A&M. Hung in there pretty good. A few mistakes. I mean, just not ready to win those type of games just yet. But I think as the year goes on, they'll continue to improve. And then, next year going into 25 and then 26, I think Lebby will have the boys rolling. The thing about Mississippi State is they're just playing super hard regardless. I mean, they know they're not going to win these games, I feel like. But the players don't quit on Lebby. I think that's a big sign that the Dogs will be at least competing in the next couple of seasons. So I'm encouraged by that. The Rebs were off last week. Southern Miss fired their coach. So that was probably the right move if I had to guess. And yeah, I mean, I think Southern might have a shot at Hugh Freeze. I'll say it here and now. So Hugh Freeze, Southern Miss alum, really not working out in Auburn right now. And Auburn, close game at Mizzou, and they couldn't get it done either. I think it's all about wins and losses at Auburn at this point, and Hugh is not getting it done. So I could definitely see Hugh disappearing from relevance pretty quick. But, hey, could always pick it back up in Hattiesburg with the Mustard Buzzards. What else? I'm going to get into the rankings. That's enough football for this football podcast. Look, I was scrambling. We've got Halloween candy next week. Okay, that'll be a good one. But this week, a little nip in the air, We're still in Mississippi, so it's getting a little toasty in the afternoons. But I've got to pull our eggs. Got to put all our eggs in the Hugh basket. I think that would be the best move for Southern in a while, coach-wise. Southern, I mean, Southern probably goes through, I don't know, a coach every 3 years, maybe every two. I mean, you go back to the Fedora days. Fedora had him rolling. Then he gets the job at North Carolina, does some NFL stuff. Monken, wasn't it Monken at Southern? I'm probably thinking of the wrong cat. But, in either way, Southern, that would be a huge hire for Southern if they got Hugh. They've been picking from like Alcorn State and, for their last coach. So, yeah, I would think that would be, a big move for them. I would hope to see it. I want the Eagles to succeed. But the rankings this week, nonetheless. I've got fall things rankings, okay? Now, Jack's not here. Jack is the big ranking disputer amongst the Cashin crew. So I don't anticipate him calling in, but I will say that I've got this this ranking pretty much locked in here. And I don't see a lot of contention on this list. At number 1, I think it goes without saying it's football. It's football. Vest, yes. So I'm going to give an honorable mention. Now, vest is a great point, and we're saying bring out the sleeves at 4. Maybe even you could say bring out the sleeveless layers, right? The vest. I think that can go hand in hand. But something about ripping a flannel for the first time, ripping a Henley for the first time. Maybe you pull out your favorite hoodie at night when it gets a little chilly. You sit out on the back porch. Maybe you're an early riser like our friend Reed. And you're going and you're getting, your morning coffee started out on the porch. You're layering up. It's 50, sometimes 40 degrees in the morning. And that brings me to number 2. And that's the nighttime chilies. All right, we're getting bonfires rolling. Okay, sat at a little fire pit with my father the other night. It was a good time. Bonfires are back when the weather gets chilly. It doesn't matter how hot it gets during the day, and we all experienced it as kids. You get sent to school with a puffer jacket in the morning. You get out to recess. You start doing Tavon Austin highlights on the touch football field. And you got to get that jacket off ASAP. You're hanging it on the chain link, and you're going to work at recess. We all know that feeling. But, yes, the bonfires at night, okay. The walk out to the truck, all right. The walk out to the truck during the fall is elite. The crisp air hits you, and you know you're going to have a great morning, okay. And that is until you get into an office or other setting that is heated, okay. Leave the heat off. We've all dressed for it. We're all adults. We're all dressing appropriately. Let the air flow a little bit. I'm not saying cool it, okay? But I am saying the walk in to the car in the morning, while it's still a little just crispy, all right? I'm not talking about freezing temperatures. I'm talking about 55, okay? I'm talking about a 55-degree walk out to the truck. That is an elite feeling, okay? Especially getting right into fall, all right? Bringing out the sleeves, right? Bringing out the sleeves. Bonfires are elite, but we need the rain bad. We're cruising towards a fire ban. That is fair, Mulvey. Yeah, that is fair. Hey, if you're in here and you like the rankings, you like the show, like the video, all right? Like the video. Yeah, and then fall menus. Everyone loves a little fall special, right? A little PSL, a little chapstick. Wow. Crazy pull on chapstick, but that's a great point, actually. Yeah, you get to break out the chapstick. Maybe the wind is getting to your facial features a little bit. Yeah, honestly, it is a nice little treat to put on a chapstick during some wind gusts. Maybe you're sitting at a sporting event. Chapstick from Duke Cannon. I haven't tried it. I'll have to venture into that world. I've never been a huge chapstick guy. I've really just fought the battle by myself most of the time with the chap lips, which, hand up. That's a problem. That's a problem that I'll have to handle internally. But Grizzlies -2. Lock it while you can. Who do the Grizz have tonight, John? But yeah, chapstick is a great fall accessory, I would say. Maybe slip your chapstick into your vest pocket and you're ready to roll. PSL in one hand, chapstick ready in the vest, smooth little button down underneath. Maybe you bring out the old shit kickers, the boots, with your your canvasy pants, maybe your jeans, and you're having a good time. You're rolling at that point. Big fan of that. The aspen trees in Boulder, Colorado. Now that is awfully niche, but it's very much so not arguable. That has to be a glorious sight. Now I did go to Jackson Hole, Wyoming, as a child. Not to brag, okay, not to brag. And the aspen trees were phenomenal, beautiful, a sight to take in. And so, yes, I definitely agree. And you can tell it's an aspen tree because of the way that it is. Fall colors more broadly, yes. The colors of fall, I've added them to our rankings here. Elite. An elite sight to see. When you look out, the trees are changing a little bit. The whole vibe is the vibe is different in fall. We don't get a lot of fall in the SIP, okay, or in the South in general. We don't really have this season, but the 2 or 3 weeks where we have it are phenomenal. They are phenomenal. Are they interrupted by hurricanes? Yes. But I think at the end of the day, we can all agree fall is an elite season. Would I like to be doing fall in a different state sometimes? Maybe. I'll say that. But the little taste we get each year is quite the treat. Let's go, McCurley. What's up, fella? So yeah, great call outs there, Spence. Great call outs. I like it. The aspen trees are an elite tree, especially this time of year. Anything I left off here, guys? I mean, it seems like this is a pretty airtight list. I know chapstick was mentioned. I do concur there. Charlie Brown special season begins. Now that is a good one if we're just talking holidays in general here, right? Like if we get into, hey, holiday season, it's the kickoff. Fall is the kickoff. We're kicking off football. We're kicking off the holidays. Thanksgiving. A lot of people hate on Thanksgiving. Oh, the Grizz have the Jazz. Yeah, I like the Grizz. I think Jaw's going for 40 tonight. I've got him in an underdog draft. No big deal. Last pick in that draft somehow pulled Jaw, so all good. Pumpkin spice, yes, it was mentioned. Thoughts on calling fall autumn? I do think it's very sophisticated to say autumn. Very demure. I did say autumnal earlier. And autumnal. It wasn't received well. No one knew what I was saying, and that might not be a word. I'm not sure. And I'm willing to admit that. Bucks are taking it to the Sixers right now. Wow. But yeah, you heard it here from John. Get the Grizzlies while you can. The Little Debbie Christmas tree cakes. They always come out in the fall. Yes, the Boo Oreos, an elite cookie around the fall time. I would say as well, like I'm saying, the fall menus, the pumpkin spice latte, but also they throw in some little apple things as well. Maybe a little apple pie type latte. Maybe, you go to a restaurant, maybe they've got some type of gourd soup that you would like, a butternut squash maybe. But the Little Debbie Christmas tree cakes are elite. The chocolate one is slept on. So I must say I'm a big fan of the chocolate Christmas tree, Little Debbie. And these rankings always get back to food, and I love that about them. I certainly love that about them. What other fall things might we have missed? Obviously, NBA, if that's your thing, is kicking off this week. That's big time. Yeah, I mean, bonfires. How do you pass that? Football, bonfires, the weather, the layers, and the menus. I'm pretty airtight list. Hit the over in the Caps game. Let's go Let's go, E. I didn't have that one, but I'm with you. I'm with you in spirit. I feel like I just won money with you, E. All right. If no one has anything on the rankings, we'll move on. But 601-706-9771 if you'd like to comment on the rankings. Onward. Let's get into hunting. Yes, for sure, McCurley, if you're a sportsman, if you're into hunt, I am going squirrel hunting this weekend. Your boy is just straight spitooning. Raking leaves, all-time terrible chore. Terrible chore. Jumping into piles of leaves, solid. Yeah, it's hunting. Yeah, that's we could do top 5 hunting season things, right? Getting out with the boys, right? Trading testosterone with your fellas. You know what I mean? Skinning something. Artillery. Loneliness. What else about hunting season, got a call. You're on Cashin.
Hey, what's good, Cam?
Oh, is this big ticket?
This is Big Ticket himself.
What's
and
happening?
You know what? The promise is true. Every week that the Buffs win, I'm calling in. So, just I wanted to bring it to everyone's attention that CU has the same record right now as Alabama, Ole Miss, all of these mid-level teams.
Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt, anchor down. They've got, so the Buffs should be in the conversation, I would think.
None of the other 5-2 teams are really in the combo right now, though. You're going to need some other losses. Yeah, you're going to need some other losses.
Yeah, we got to have lots of people losing.
Our first ever go to hell Buffs.
Oh, man.
I've never actually seen that. That's pretty sick. Wow. You're really stirring the pot here, Spence. I mean, Big Ticket.
Yeah. I mean, the Buffs, and I'm going to tie it into your list as well. Mm-hmm. Something that should be mentioned. You know who the Buffs have to play this weekend?
Who do they got?
Is none other than Cincinnati.
Okay.
We're talking chili on top of spaghetti.
Wow.
A good fall chili deserves to be on the list, or at least a consideration.
You start whipping up the chili, maybe some red beans and rice. Maybe a jambalaya, if you will. But yeah, that's a good thought there. I like it.
Yeah, it fits into the fall menu though. I'll give you that. It fits into that category.
Right.
Buffs are going to be 6-2 after this game. They're just going to take their chili and noodles and go home.
I like it.
So
Reed says gumbo. Prediction. I agree, gumbo. A lot of opportunities for a bad gumbo, though, I must say. But a good gumbo is hard to beat.
I've had gumbo that's just straight rice.
Yeah, you don't want that. Just a little bit of gravy on some rice. We could have rice and gravy anytime,
Yeah. That's a better move. But
what about a bisque? Are you a bisque guy?
Me eating bisque?
Yeah.
Our friend Luke could comment on this with his seafood incident this week, but, we're not exactly known. I guess we have a little bit of coastline here in Mississippi, but, any sort of seafood bisque from the Northeast, you kind of got to watch out for.
I like a crawfish. I like a crawfish bisque. We're crawfish country.
That's true. Yeah. Gotta eat some crawdads,
Reed has threatened to make us gumbo, so I'm intrigued.
Let's get some gumbo going and go Buffs.
All right, we'll see what the Buffs do this weekend. Cincinnati, I think, is pretty bad. So if Colorado catches an L, it might be time to hit the panic button.
Yeah, no panic here, just belief.
Just Buffs belief. So, okay, thank you, Big Ticket.
Exactly. All right, thank you, Cam.
All right,
bye.
Resident Buffs fan, Big Ticket. He got the first ever go to hell Buffs. A lot of respect. You ever see boiled eggs and gumbo? I've never seen boiled eggs in gumbo. Are we talking like a pho situation? A Cajun pho with the boiled eggs in a gumbo? I don't know. I don't hate it. I don't hate that thought. But I'm not sure. I mean, it's like a ramen type situation almost, it sounds like. Yeah, I've never seen that. But I could see it going together, you know. Reed, what meats are you putting in your gumbo? You know, I've had chicken, I've had sausage, I've had some shrimp in a gumbo. What's the elite meat combo for a gumbo, in your opinion? Being a man from the Bayou, as you are, um, I'm interested. I'm about to change your life, he says. Wow, that is strong words from Reed. I am open to all gumbo inquiries at this point. Yeah, I'm down. I'm down to try it. 601 706 9771 to call into the show. Big Ticket's already given his Buffs breakdown for the week. If you got something, call in 601 706 9771. And Dewey, of course. Yeah, and Dewey sausage is an elite sausage. I've been a big fan of the Country Pleasin's pineapple jalapeno recently. If you haven't got your hands on a pack of that, maybe it's time. Maybe it's time. And if you got kiddos, you know, a pumpkin patch can be a lot of fun in the fall. Chitlins, wow, that is quite a pull. A pumpkin patch, a fall fest, you know, somewhere, you know, the fair even. I left the fair off. There are a lot of fair believers in my friend circle. I'm not a fair guy, to be honest. I think the fair promises a lot, delivers a little most of the time. But the nostalgia of the fair does hold a little bit of dearness to my heart. But at the same time, I couldn't put this on my list. You know, it's already been in and out this year, so just such a short event. But it does kind of show. It does kind of show that fall is beginning when you see the fair roll into town. At least here in Jackson. Trying to think anything else. Anything else? No, we'll do some winter. We'll do a winter one when that one rolls around. But yeah, I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied with my rankings this week. 601 706 9771 to call into the show. Let's get into some ball. Now, we've already talked a little b-ball. We've already talked a little puck. Try the crawfish and pork country, please. Now, that sounds delightful. Going to be 87 tomorrow. Fall is fake. Yeah. Yeah. Especially here. You know, we give fall a bad rap, to be honest. But what is it in the morning? It's going to be like 50-something in the morning. Again, the walk to the vehicle to head out is going to be scrumptious. College picks. Here we are. I've got Syracuse plus 5.5 to go ahead and upset on, I think they play on Friday. Do they play Friday or Thursday? I can't remember. They've got Pitt. Pitt is 6-0. Okay, their best start in a long, long time. I like what they do offensively. I think Syracuse is coming in with the Ohio State transfer quarterback, and I think they shock the world on Thursday, which is mañana, and they take it to Pitt. They end the 6-game winning streak. They already ended Boston College's run. They ended Georgia Tech's run early in the year. I like Syracuse to take down Pitt for the first time this year. And that quarterback is pretty serious. I forget his name. Shocker. But yeah, give me the 6. I'm gonna lay the 6. I'm gonna take the 6. And I think it's up to 5.5. So I'll still take them at 5.5, and we'll roll with Cuse. Maybe if you got a little extra cash laying around, ride the Cuse money line. Just saying. I've got the Rebs in the Oklahoma game. All right, fresh off a bye. The loss to LSU in Death Valley where they led the entirety of the game. Um, the Rebs' offensive line has been pretty brutal this year. It's kind of kept them out of these big games. Just any team with a strong defensive front has given the Rebs trouble. But uh, Rebs hold South Carolina to 3 points. South Carolina goes to Oklahoma and they run up the score and don't allow many points against the Sooners. Sooners have a real quarterback problem. Okay, they're jumping back from the guy they started with and the true freshman. And the age-old saying of if you have two quarterbacks, you don't have one is true in the Sooners' case. The Sooners cannot score. Now, the Rebs might run into some trouble early in this one because I think Oklahoma's defense is going to play pretty soundly in the first couple quarters. But I do think the Rebs are going to wear down Oklahoma offensively. And I do like the Rebs to eventually cover the 20.5. Big spread, okay? Big spread in this one. But I like Ole Miss to cover it, 3 touchdowns. If it creeps up to 21, you might balk at the line. But at 20.5, I think the Rebs probably cover late in the game. And Oklahoma just has zero offensive firepower to come back. So if the Rebs jump on them early, I think this would be an easy cover. If Oklahoma comes out and plays a little defense to start the game, you might see a little sluggish start from Ole Miss. Everyone hit the panic button, and then Lane get the boys going in the second half. I think best case, if you're an Ole Miss fan, is Charlie Weiss just stops calling the plays. You let Lane call the plays, try to save the season there. It's a little bit of a look-ahead spot for Ole Miss. They got Georgia coming up. But I think this point, if you're Ole Miss, you have to play your best game every week. You still have the ability to get into the playoffs if you beat Georgia. Obviously, some other things have to happen. But I think Ole Miss is going to play their best game of the season Saturday at home, 11 a.m. kickoff against Oklahoma. Give me the Rebs, minus 20.5. Again, I don't like the 20.5 line. I wish it was 2 touchdowns maybe just to be safer. Or even 17, but I'll take the Rebs at minus 20.5 here. Oklahoma just so bad offensively. Indiana, I went away from the undefeated team in the Cuse Pitt game, but Indiana is absolutely rolling right now. Play the hot hand at home. Their coach is a stud. Google him. You'll see. He wins. I just think they're so bought in. They absolutely destroyed Nebraska last week. I had Nebraska plus 6.5. It never stood a chance. Creating turnovers, scoring on offense, the whole nine for the Hoosiers. Basketball school no more. Give me the Hoosiers to go 7-0. Start the year. The minus 6.5 is a little high, but I like them at home. Washington 4-3. Just I won't no Will Rogers slander here. Okay, no Will Rogers slander. But Washington, long road trip over here. They lost last week to Iowa. Got absolutely obliterated by Iowa last week, and I don't think they're traveling well in this new Big Ten world. We've seen USC get eat up by the Big Ten schedule so far. Pac-12 was not ready for the Big Ten this year like Texas was ready for the SEC. So give me Indiana with the touchdown. I wasn't a believer last week. I'll buy in this week. Cincinnati and the boys to cover the 6.5. All right. Bama loses to Tennessee, a game that they were up. They held Tennessee scoreless again in the first half. So three scoreless first halves for Tennessee in a row. Arkansas, Bama, and Florida all held them scoreless in the first half, which is honestly insane. They won 2 of those games at home, right? They won those games at home. They lost the game against Arkansas in Fayetteville. But I like Bama to go ahead and roll. I like Bama to roll. Mizzou's quarterback gets hurt against Auburn last week. They squeaked by. I think this week Bama is going to play murder ball. Their coach has to get them going. DeBoer is definitely seeing his job flash before his eyes. At home, coming off the loss again. How many times has Bama lost 2 games in a row in the last? It feels like a century. Give me Bama minus 17. It's a bit of a scary line, but I think the Bama defense has to go out and perform in this one. Milroe, where he's got to make better decisions, and it might be that this Bama team just is what they are. They're not very consistent. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to give up chunk plays, and they're going to leave teams in these games. I don't know, but this feels like a Bama blowout week. Just based off the past. Now, I know we can't really go off the past anymore. Saban's not there, but they've still got the caliber of player that I feel like they're going to prepare this week, and they're going to get it done. Against Mizzou kind of limping into this one. Haven't really traveled all that well this year. So give me Bama, minus 17. I'll lay it and see what the Tide can do. If the Tide let me down here, I'm probably done with the Tide for the year, which I said I was done betting on Oklahoma games too, and I've got the Rebs. So we'll see what happens. So unpredictable this year in the SEC. I mean, you just never know what's going to happen, obviously, with Georgia, Texas last week as well. But, I'm going to go with my gut on this one and lay the 17 with Bama. This one is intriguing. The Illinois-Oregon game, I've got Illinois plus 21.5. Number 1 ranked Oregon. It is in Autzen Stadium. But we're going to go ahead and call this one the underdog of the week. Lawn Dogs of Brandon, underdog of the week. It's fall, y'all, and the leaves are a-falling. If you need your leaves raked, chopped, removed, sent to your neighbor's yard, call Lawn Dogs of Brandon, 601-573-0117. Matt McCurley and the boys will get you situated. They've taken care of my leaves in the past. They'll take care of them again. Lawn Dogs of Brandon, 601-573-0117. We are 4-1 on underdogs of the week this year. Give me Illinois plus 21.5. Illinois' defense. How about the helmets that Illinois sported last week? The leather helmets. They looked like leather helmets. The jerseys were kind of ass, but the helmets were sick. The helmets were immaculate. I loved it. And I think they carry on the momentum. Beat Michigan last week. Michigan is obviously down this year. But I like them to go into Oregon, make a few stops, and stay in the game. 21.5 is too many for this Illinois team that is playing pretty well. I mean, it's not often you see a ranked-on-ranked 230 game where, you've got a 21.5 point favorite on CBS. So, the Big Ten primetime game. I love it. I love Illinois in this spot. Give me the 21.5. Those helmets were nuts. Big fan. Yeah. I mean, they were sick. They were pretty incredible how they were able to do that. I can't imagine how long it took to pull that off for all of their players. But, yeah, I'm riding with Illinois here, plus 21.5. Oregon, I'm trying to think of the good defenses they played. Obviously, they played Ohio State. I don't know who all Oregon has beaten this year. I know they struggled offensively early. Let's pull up their schedule. They're 7-0, obviously a number 1 ranked team. They've played Idaho, where they won by 10 points, 24-14. They beat Boise State by 3. Okay. Blew out Oregon State, rivalry game. Oregon State's way down, though. They lost their coach over this offseason. Beat up on a bad UCLA team, bad Michigan State team. They squeaked by Ohio State, and they beat a bad Purdue team by 35 points. I love Illinois in this game. Seriously. 21.5 is crazy to me. Did someone say 4-1? Hard not to hammer. Yes, sir. Hop on the lawn dog underdog of the week. Illinois, the Fighting Illini, plus 21.5. They should just rock those helmets the rest of the year. They've got some pretty sick little jersey combos in Illinois. Can't lie. I'm going to roll with Fluky Vandy. All right. I know it's a little fluky. But the plus 19 against Texas at home is just a little too enticing for your boy. I like a backdoor cover with Vandy in the 19. I think Texas probably jumps on them. If I'm being honest, I think Texas will jump on them. So much fight in the Vandy team, though, and I think you're going to see Texas out ahead pretty early, and people will go ahead and say Vandy's fluky. You know, it's not a real deal, and it probably isn't. But I could just see them coming back and backdoor covering when Texas lets their guard down in this one. Obviously, coming off the big L to Georgia, I would think that they're, a little bit burnout after that one. You might even see Vandy hop out ahead. I don't know. I didn't believe in Vandy against Kentucky, and they proved me wrong there. Obviously, didn't have them against Bama. Did have them covering against Bama, but I didn't think they were going to win that game. Obviously, nobody did. But yeah, I like Vandy plus 19. Alex asked anyone on state money line. I just can't hurt myself that way. The line's at 6.5. The dogs are underdogs at home. If they were going to get one, this would be the one, right? Arkansas, just back and forth. They play decently offensively, and then they have a bad week. Vandy at home, scary hours. I mean, they've been an elite home team this year. But, I mean, look, I think State has a shot in it, obviously. Had the homer pick last week with the dogs. I do like them to cover the 6.5 probably. And, I think Ashton Genty over 190 yards. That dude is a freaking monster. Who does Boise play this weekend? They have like Hawaii or somebody probably. Let me see. It's probably like a late game, isn't it? Boise has... I can't see it. I like the glow. I'm running too fast here, Mulvey. You might have to tell me. Yeah, I need to get Mulvey in here to produce. Oh, they play tomorrow. UNLV, yeah. They're toting that bit. Yeah. I've got Boise in that one if you wanna play something on that game. But yeah, Alex, I think State has a shot, and if they're like I said, if they're gonna win one, it's gonna be that one this year. At this point, no shot against Tennessee, probably no shot against Ole Miss in the Egg Bowl. So yeah, they're gonna have to get that one, and UMass have a 3-win year. So yeah, I mean, I kind of like State. You think Boise State might lose to UNLV? Maybe. I think UNLV has just had a weird season, right, with their quarterback leaving. They played really well to start the year. I like Boise, but I could see where UNLV could be. I don't really know enough about those two teams other than Ashton absolutely toting that thing. LSU plus 2.5 on the road at A&M. I just think A&M is not there offensively. Connor Wigman is okay. He really, really wants to throw a pick. He wants to throw a pick more than I want to breathe, it seems. If State caught 3 of those picks that went into their hands, you might have seen State pull off the upset last week. Yeah, they're just really not there offensively. I think the Ole Miss win kickstarted the LSU season. The plus 2.5, I think with it being at Kyle Field, they're leaning a little bit toward A&M. So, again, so unpredictable this year. But I think you're going to see, the door is wide open for A&M. And, they have a shot at being in the SEC championship at this point, I don't know who A&M has left other than, they've got LSU here, obviously. 6-1. The only loss was to Notre Dame, so not a conference loss. They've got LSU, South Carolina, New Mexico State, Auburn, and then Texas to finish the year. You might be looking at if they win this weekend, you're probably looking at a one conference loss, A&M, unless they just fall apart. So Elko's got the boys playing pretty well. So I think, just for the parity of the SEC, I think you see A&M lose this one against the Tigers. LSU isn't all that impressive either at times. I think Nussmeier is just okay. Kind of another, what was the cat that played for the Titans after LSU? Mettenberger, or whatever his name was. He really gives Mettenberger vibes. And so, makes some crazy throws and then makes absolutely awful throws. If you look at LSU, I think they've got a pretty favorable schedule. Let me see. I think they still have Bama, don't they? They're 6-1 as well. Only loss is to USC. So not a conference loss for them. Tough little stretch here. They've got A&M, Bama, at Florida, who is kind of improving, but still don't really trust Florida, Vandy, and Oklahoma. So even if LSU were to drop these next two, they still only have two conference losses. So, the SEC is shaping up to be an absolute wild finish for all teams involved. But I do like LSU to get the dub against the Aggies this weekend. I just don't think the Aggies have enough offensively to hang in there with LSU unless Nussmeier just makes a million mistakes, which he could. He very well could. But give me the Tigers and give me LSU in that one. Who else we got? Let's see. I do like Duke. I think that's my last one. No, Wisconsin plus 6.5. They've got Penn State at home. Penn State undefeated. This just seems like one Penn State drops. It seems like one Penn State drops. They struggled a little bit on the road against USC. And I could just see them getting in to the jump around land in Madison and struggling against the Badgers. The Badgers have been hot at times this year, and they took it to USC. The Badgers were all over USC earlier in the year in Southern California, so I think you might see Penn State fall in this one, and I like the other home dog, Duke plus 12. Miami has got to slip up in one of these, right? I'm pretty sure it's Duke Miami. I might be wrong. Am I crazy? It's Duke Miami, right? Anyway, I think Miami slips up in one of these games. They've been in a lot of close ones. Louisville almost came back on them. So I really do like Duke at home. They've been playing extremely well. Oh, it's SMU. Got them done. I think Miami's off this week. Or no, Miami's at home against Florida State. 21-point favorite. Brutal. But yeah, SMU going to Duke. Now, SMU's offense is pretty solid, I must say. But Manny Diaz has the Blue Devils absolutely rolling at times this year. So give me Duke and the points at home. Night game, give me the Blue Devils. And basketball season is coming up. I think the fans are going to be electric. I don't know if the Cameron Crazies go to the football games, but certainly should, right? Certainly should. Onward. 601-706-9771 to call into the show with your winners. And let's get right into the NFL. Okay, NFL is brutal this week. It was pretty tough last week. Just not a lot of great lines this week, I got to be honest. Tomorrow night's game, Vikings at the Rams. I don't know what to make of the Rams at this point. I would lean Vikings. Any World Series picks? I think the Dodgers get it done. I think the Dodgers win the World Series this year. I don't want either team to win. I wish they could just, stop the World Series at this point. But yeah, I think the Dodgers probably get it done. Just the two highest payrolls in the MLB. Um, you know, make it to the series. I mean, I think the MLB's got to probably look at a salary cap. They've probably got to look at a salary floor. You've got some of these owners that don't even try in the MLB to get players. So yeah, I think, but I do think the Dodgers probably get it done in the World Series. As much as it pains me to say, Freddie's gonna get him another one. Shohei will get him one. Mookie, I guess Mookie won with the Sox too. So yeah, I think the Dodgers probably do. But I really haven't been super tuned in because the Braves just broke my heart this year. So many injuries this year. Half the league has a pulled hamstring. Yeah, Mike Evans tough. Monday night, and then Chris Godwin, like last play of the game, absolutely brutal. I don't know if they've said what his injury really entails just yet. But yeah, on Thursday night game, I'd probably just find like a player prop or something. Cooper Kupp is getting traded, it seems, so stay away from Cooper Kupp probably. I would think Jettas is probably going to score in that game, so probably do Jettas anytime touchdown score. Alex only has 2 picks. Vikings -3, so you do like the Vikings tomorrow, and then the Bengals -1.5. I don't believe you. Okay, you're gonna bet more than just 2 games. Let's see. Eagles, Cincinnati. Okay, I love Cincinnati -2.5 in that spot. The Eagles drama is insane this year. Saquon's obviously playing really good. I think the Bengals have won 2 straight, maybe 3 straight. I think they're coming off like beating the Browns. So that's not a big deal. But -2.5 at home. And like I said, the Eagles drama is insane right now. Their scumbag coach is perfect for Philly, okay? But yeah, I don't think Alex is all props these days. I need some props. Give me some props. I'll take some props. Ethan's been hitting on props too. I don't know if he's still in here. But yeah, the NFL has been brutal. I will say college has been absolutely murder this year. It is just SEC for sure has been just tough. I've talked to people, and nobody is winning in college this year. Really puts a damper on Sunday. Load up the parlays, yeah, right. I had a 5-leg anytime touchdown last week. I'm taking it easy. Yeah, rest on your laurels. Rest on your laurels a little bit, maybe. Huge spread in the Ravens-Browns game. Jameis Winston is starting. -8.5. What an odd line. Just no idea what to say on the Ravens-Browns at 8.5. It's in Cleveland. If Cleveland wants any morsel of a season, this would be one that they'd want to win. Obviously, I think the Ravens have looked really good offensively. With Jameson, maybe you think about hitting the over-under 44.5 there. Detroit and Tennessee, I've got the Lions. Your boy, Super Bowl bound. Dan Campbell and the boys. Ahmad St. Brown just getting his bag with the Little Caesars commercials. Backdoor cover for Jameis. Yeah, I do kind of like the Browns at 8.5. I mean, it's hard to want to bet on the Browns at this point, but I could see the backdoor for Jameis in that one. Yeah, I do like the Lions -11 against the Titans. The Titans just have nothing going offensively. Jumped up on the Bills last week, but ended up losing by 3 scores, I think. Just no offensive firepower. They trade D-Hop. I think they're in a full-on tank rebuild right now in Tennessee. So, yeah, give me the Lions to keep rolling in those. I don't know what to say about Arizona Miami either. It's at 3.5. Jaden has to play. We got to see Jaden versus Caleb. I know. God, who was Jaden's backup? Was it Mariota? Am I crazy? Was it Marcus Mariota? I knew they cut Sam Hartman. And I thought I saw Mariota in a Commander's uniform. But 2 decent drives a game from the Titans. Yeah. Saints aren't much better, brother. Saints are unbettable at this point. Yeah, we got to see Bearskins, the rookies going up against each other. It's got to be done. So I do like the over 43.5 in that one. I'm just going to trust Jaden plays. Yeah, he's got to play. Goodell's going to make him play, right? Brutal for my fantasy team last week when Jaden just decided not to play the rest of the game. That was tough. I do like the Bills in Seattle to go over the 47 as well. It was Mariota. Did not realize. Yeah, I mean, how does that guy? I mean, seems like a great individual, but how does he keep playing football? Hard to say. Jets and Patriots, just a real stink fest. That's at -7 for the Jets. If you're taking the Jets at a touchdown, you've never bet before. Okay. Saints Cowboys money line this week. I do kind of like the Cowboys this week against the Niners. The Niners just cannot field a team half the time, it seems like. Debo is just ill. No one wants to say. McCaffrey is working on one Achilles at this point, I guess, or maybe less than one Achilles. I don't really understand what's happening with McCaffrey. The Mason guy has really lost his luster, and, Ayuk is hurt, apparently. Kittle's really, they're kind of in a Chiefs situation where they just have no receivers. The red Mohawk guy is also hurt. So, yeah, I mean, I think the boys might cover that +4 and they might win the game. It seems like a Cowboys situation where they win that one somehow. A lot of stinkers this week, though. I mean, Saints, Chargers, the Drew Brees Bowl, just absolutely atrocious. Chargers at -7 there. Good God. Carolina at Denver, -10. Chiefs -10 at Vegas. Your two really watchable games are Chicago, Washington, and Dallas, San Francisco. I like the Steelers to cover the 6.5 against the G-men. People are asking if Debo has AIDS. That's tough. Jets -7. Yeah, what is that about? I know the Pats stink. I think the Pats probably cover there. I don't trust the Jets at all. The Devontae Rogers thing, I think the team, there's no way the Jets locker room is having a great time. I wouldn't think. Debo has AIDS is crazy. That's crazy. But yeah, the lines on the NFL this week are unbettable. I mean, you cannot bet on these lines, really. I would, if you're going to bet on NFL games this weekend, just take the big dogs. Take the big dogs because we've been seeing blowouts, but I think it's gotta course correct, and it'll get back to NFL being, one-score games. Jets are coming back. They fooled me twice, I think, this year. I can't get fooled again. They're going to have to prove it to me. I mean, I hate this Lions line, -11, but the Titans just show no fight in them. I think they're done. Pack it up. I do like the Falcons. Didn't cover that one. -2.5 against the Bucks. Obviously, we saw the Bucks are down to the Bucks are down to no receivers. Poor Mike. Poor Chris Godwin. So yeah, I think Kurt Cobain is going to get them. And give me the 2.5 for the Falcons. And yeah, that's really all I got this week. I mean, an interesting week in the NFL. I think college is going to have some good ones. We're all going to watch them, though. That's the bottom line. We're going to put skin in the game. We're going to watch them. And hopefully, God willing, we're going to cash. Okay? If you have any winners, I'm going to leave it open for a couple minutes. 601-706-9771. We had big ticket today, and that was all we had so far on the call log. Alex says he has nothing for us, which, sometimes you just got to punt. Baker loves a bounce-back game, unfortunately staying away. I don't know if it's up to Baker. I mean, if Baker has no one to throw to, if Bucky Irving fumbles twice, I think the Bucks might be cooked. But the Ravens are a good team, and they beat them. pretty handedly. But the Falcons obviously are kind of a toss up. Give me the 2.5. And yeah, I'd probably sprinkle Pats at +7. I would probably see about the Cowboys at +4, and if it gets higher, I would probably hit up the Cowboys. Packers -4 at Jacksonville. I mean, Jacksonville stinks. If Tua plays with Miami this week, maybe you see the over hit in that Miami Arizona game. That might be one to watch if Tua does come back. I mean, Tyreek Hill has been legitimately a ghost this season. Who would have thunk that without Tua, Tyreek Hill just loses his powers? You would think McDaniel would just find ways to get Tyreek the ball regardless, but it doesn't seem like that's part of the game plan most weeks, which is kind of crazy. Never betting on the Jags again, yeah. And I mean, the theory of them being London's team did not pay off in the first week they were there. It pays off in the second week. Just absolutely ridiculous, honestly. Trevor Lawrence can kick rocks. Tua not wearing the shell helmet is also just insane. Like, just wear it, man. You're in just dire need of a freaking pillowcase, like, as your helmet. Tua is the new research patient for CTE. Yeah, Will Smith is going to do another movie just about Tua. 617-706-9771. I'll leave it open for 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. There is a bit of a lag, so I'll leave it open for that. But I love the Lions to win the Super Bowl this year. I think they're going to do it. I think they're going to get their first one. Storied franchise, right? Just absolutely awful for so many years. Stafford kind of wasted his talent there, for being honest. But I like Jared Goff. I like Dan Campbell. Gibbs has really come on strong. David Montgomery and Gibbs, probably the best running back duo in the league. So yeah, Lions are my Super Bowl pick. Who do they play against, I wonder? The AFC is pretty tough. Maybe Bills. Maybe you see a Bills-Lions Super Bowl. That would be a ton of fun. Yeah, he needs a guardian cap and a guardian angel. Yes, praise the Lord. Dan Cam is the man. Bills, Lions, Super Bowl. I'm going to say it here tonight, and I'm going to root for it the rest of the season. That Bills-Seattle game will be fun. I think, Geno has some weapons. Kenneth Walker's back. Stop with the Chiefs. The Chiefs are dead to me. I never want to see the Chiefs. I know, if we're being honest, it's Chiefs. But you know what? No. Bills. I think Josh Allen gets Mahomes this year. Does D-Hop actually make a difference for the Chiefs? Jared Goff overs this week. Yeah, Alex is out on the Titans secondary, understandably. Yeah, I mean, do we think D-Hop actually makes a difference in Kansas City? I don't know. They've brought back guys before, and they haven't really done anything. Juju, just somehow still getting reps. Played pretty well the other night. I guess that was a couple weeks back. And then the absolute just dirtbag Kareem Hunt getting carries is despicable. The NFL should be ashamed. Script won't let T Swift not be in the Super Bowl. Ravens want it bad. Now the Ravens, yes. A Ravens-Bills AFC Championship would be electric. In Buffalo, oh my God. I want the small market teams. I want all small markets. Give me, Lions, Green Bay, which they probably won't. They're in the same division. So the Vikings, the NFC North is pretty solid. Bills, maybe even Seattle, which I guess that qualifies as a small market at this point. D-Hop still got hands. Patty scrambling will get him open. Patty's been brutal this year. 6 touchdowns to 8 interceptions. That is tough looks. Still number 1 in the MVP odds, though. Yeah. Despicable Goodell. We need to get Goodell out of there. Let's be honest. Yeah. If no one's going to call in, 601-706-9771, I will stop my rant, and we will be done for the week. If you haven't already, like the video, subscribe, and yeah, I'm thinking next week we're gonna do a little Halloween candies rating, something we can all chime in on, and yeah, I'm hoping that your boy still has an account next week. We're gonna have to be really strategic with our bets this week to keep it rolling. So, yeah, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next week. Let's cash.